this week with Monday, October 4th, with a response to all of the demonstrations taking place over the weekend from Thorns owner Merritt Paulson. He writes an open letter to the public, and it basically restates his commitment to women's soccer. That the organization is devastated by the abuse that Monishim and Sinead Farley endured while during their time at the Thorns. He applauds their bravery in coming forward, emphasizes that there's zero tolerance for discrimination and harassment of any kind, and further details within this open letter that within the hours of receiving then coach in 2015 the allegations from Manishim in 2015, they did the following. They placed Riley on immediate suspension. They conducted an investigation that led to his eventual termination, and that the club turned in those investigations to the league, but they made an opaque statement not revealing the results of the investigations to the public. And in doing that was a failure on their end and a shortcoming on their end. He further lists things that the organization is currently doing right now at the moment, which also consists of providing a confidential and anonymous reporting system, open dialogue with staff and players. They are placing an anonymous feedback for fans on the website. And they have also hired new lawyers to conduct independent investigation into the allegations in 2015. And then at the tail end of this day, on Monday, October 4th, Lisa Baird actually releases an additional statement to Sam Brock, who's a correspondent for NBC, making a statement saying that she actually joined the league 5 years after the investigation was conducted, and states that she was hired and states that Paul Riley was hired in 2016 by another team, and that during her time as commissioner, she enacted certain initiatives to further protect the athletes in the league, which included mandatory screening and background checks, protection plans for under 18 players, and taking credit for certain things that occurred during her short time with the league in regards to the anti-harassment policy. And these are a number of things that she bullet points in this statement, which we have to acknowledge really happened because players behind the scenes agitated and wanted to advocate for themselves and make these things happen in the league, which it was a very, very short statement, but it doubles down on some things that come into play, not so much because Baird was commissioner, but really because of the work that took place behind it. Today, as of this recording, Tuesday, October 5th, Alex Morgan, Manishim, and Sinead Farley were on the Today Show to discuss this story nationally. And it's a very short interview. It's about 10 minutes. If you are looking for it, we do have it on our Twitter at the moment. You can head on over to Attacking Third and take in their Today Show interview if you've missed it. Along with NWSL news on October the 5th, the Washington Spirit came out with news that CEO Steve Baldwin has resigned. This comes after reported that 27 Washington Spirit players wrote a letter to the majority owner asking for his resignation, specifically saying we do not feel like we can recover from all that has been revealed in 2021. Under your leadership, the trust and the faith in the organization has been broken. So adjacent to all of this, there is an official statement saying that Baldwin has resigned, is stepping back, and that full authority of the club moving forward will actually fall to current club president Ben Olsen. And I guess some of the what we can consider good news coming out of this wild week is that the NWSL Players Association announces that the midweek matches that will be taking place on Wednesday, October the 6th, will actually move forward. But within their statement, they close saying that they will have more demands forthcoming.
A lot has happened, but the players making an announcement that they will be playing, I think, says a lot about what the players want out of this, and they've listed their demands and they've called them to action. And now to be in the public eye and to be able to compete is huge. One thing I want to kind of circle back on is the announcements made by former commissioner of the league, Lisa Baird, because on the day that this news broke on September 30th, the league released a statement quoting Lisa Baird, where she said that she was shocked and disgusted by these allegations. And in the days after the initial report, a lot of players were tweeting out their responses and their support of these players. And Alex Morgan actually tweeted out emails from Sinead Farley to Lisa Baird in May of 2021, after the anti-harassment policy was put into place, specifically saying, this is what happened to me. There was an investigation. I am asking you to look into that investigation in 2015 and reopen it right now because he is still a coach. And the fact that Lisa Baird came out and said, I am shocked by these allegations, when she has emails in her inbox discussing these allegations. And then for her to make another statement through Sam Brock just on Monday, October 4th, basically trying to backtrack and trying to cover herself and saying, I wasn't involved when those allegations happened. I wasn't in charge of the position. It wasn't my job. I only came on in 2020, and all of this happened in 2015 and 2016. Really trying to say it's not her fault, when, okay, but you were then made aware of it again in 2021. I think that there's so much to unpack from this story. And even in this timeline, there's still so many things to unpack. And it's really just layers and layers upon layers of what has happened. But the two biggest things that stand out to me is that the allegations of sexual coercion against Paul Riley, and that the league failed to protect its players.